This is the fourth batch of students from Arekha Middle Secondary School in Shukha district who have won the so-called Edutainment tour, which takes high academic achievers on an exposure trip to selected places in the country. There are 35 of them this year, a steep rise since its inception in 2014, which saw only 11 students scoring an aggregate of 80% and above marks in examinations. As usual, they visit the international airport in Paro, one of most popular attractions for students. Here, they get to physically experience how it feels like to be an aeroplane. Some of them have already been on the plane, sat on the cockpit and have seen the plane take off before, while some of them are experiencing it for the first time. Many more such exciting visits are to follow in Thimphu. The tour has been a success, and it all happened because of some generous supporters who thought the support was for a good cause. What does this kind of exposure mean to you?
I think it is very important for all the students in Arekha Middle Secondary School as well as for me, because this kind of exposure makes us to work hard on what we are studying, and we also can learn things that are happening in this huge city. So first of all, let me share a short experience of mine. When I was in my old school, I didn't give much importance to studying. I thought I will run for my dream and I will just focus on that. But when I came here, all the students, those who went before, they told us that there was this kind of edutainment tour, and they said that the students that get above 80% can get to visit to Hotel Olathang in Paro and to this Hotel Funsopelri in Thimphu and be treated like a royal family and all. So I thought it might be interesting to find out what kind of treatment we can get. So from that on, I tried to work hard on my studies, and I really tried hard to get 80%. And last year we did get, and I did qualify for this, but sadly there was a landslide in our local area, so we couldn't come. That is why our trip was cancelled. So this time it is the first time for me, so I'm really excited for it. And we have spent few days in Paro, and it was really amazing. So I think every student wants to try this trip to get this 80% and above and want to come here and be in my place. So I think it is really important, and it means a lot to me actually, because I haven't been in this huge hotel and I don't think our parents can afford it. So being here means really like a dream come true for all the students in Arekha Middle Secondary School. That is what I think.
Academic.
Okay. This is my first year at Arekha Middle Secondary School, and the first thing when I was not admitted to the school, when I heard from a friend that saying that the students who scored 80 and above will get a chance to go to study tour, and I thought the school was very interesting. But when I was admitted to the school, this rule was very strict, and I feel very sad for the first time. But as the time goes by, I'm really happy with Arekha Middle Secondary School. And the lesson that I learned from the study tour was that we learn many discipline. I actually very strict discipline, and we learn how to eat in a very good manner, and many more. And I'm really happy that I actually get to visit five-star hotel and we click many photos in a helicopter and airplane, and I'm really happy and I enjoy this trip, ma'am.
So how is this trip helping you perform better in your studies?
Okay. Yeah, I was not studying actually. In my previous school was Wangchu school. I was not studying there. I was studying when the exam was nearing. Studying at night, it was very hard. But when I heard about the study trip, I studied every night. The teacher used to the lesson that teacher taught in the school. I used to revise it at home, and I scored 86% when CA was added, and in written I scored 85.1%.
So that means you mean to say that this kind of trips are very rare for you?
Yes, in Wangchu school we only get certificate and prize, but this school is very different.
So you have been taking this trip for the third time, yeah?
Yes.
Sring. So how is this trip helping you concentrate more on your studies?
The true help means concentrate more in my studies, because every time when I study, I think that if I study more, I'll get chance to go to the study tour along with the principal, with my many friends. So I study day and night with hard work. Then I got my hard work's reward.
So what do you learn from this study trip?
I learned about many cultures, and I learned how people live in Thimphu and Paro.
And the man behind this initiative, a drive to motivate students to excel in exams, is Sring Doji, the principal at Arekha Middle Secondary School. First of all, a very big congratulations on successfully carrying out your edutainment tour for the 4th running year. My question to you is, what made you think that exposure trip such as this would help improve students' academic performance?
First of all, I want to thank the BBS entire team for giving us this opportunity to express and to share our ideas through the BBS. The question related to your question. For this edutainment tour, I think this really inspired the students to work hard in their academic performance. It was since it was started in 2014. I think 2014 there were only 11 students who qualified 80% and above in their written examination, and in 2015 it jumped up to 29 students, which is the triple from the first batch, and it is increasing year by year. So it shows that with this edutainment tour, I think the academic performance for the students is improving, as well as the number of students they work so hard to get into that edutainment tour. So this is about the edutainment tour, how it gets the positive impact for the students' performance.
If you could tell us how your students were faring in exams before this initiative was, before this exposure trip was initiated. How did it happen?
Thank you so much for this question. In fact, you know that in 2014 it was almost in the time for the midterm examinations, and I was going around and I saw many students just playing, and they were borderless about the midterm examinations. So they are just borderless about the examinations. So I felt that okay, now I should do something else to motivate them, to make them study, so that they can do better in their future. So once when I went to the classes, so I went around to the classes, it was in 2014, and I told them that okay, so if you can perform better in your examinations, so I'm going to take you for the tour. So firstly, students were not convinced, because they felt that okay, it's impossible to take them tour. So they were asking me that where am I going to take. So I told them that okay, where they wanted to go. So they said that they wanted to go to Paro. So then for what purpose? Then they said that they want to see the aircraft, and secondly they said they wanted to visit Thimphu. So they were really inspired by, I think, this Sherry Square, the game zone. At that time, the game zone is there. So then I said, okay. So then I set a criteria. Okay, if you really want to go for this tour, so now you have to set this, you have to qualify for this edutainment tour. So I set a criteria that you should get 80% and above in the written examinations without including continuous assessment. So then they said that, okay, now we want to try. So hereafter, I think it was almost just 2 weeks left for the examination. So students, they started working hard, and the parents, I got the feedback after a week, and they said that, okay, so I don't know what happened to the students. Now they started working hard, and sir, you told them that you are going to take them for a tour. So they started working hard. So they started, getting up as early as 4 a.m. and sleeping at late night. So after a week, after we finished our examination, we did a group evaluation, and then I circulated a sheet that I wanted to get the list of the students who qualified for this tour. So usually I felt that before that one, I felt that, okay, there might be just 2 or 3 students, so where I can take in my car and where I can sponsor myself. So surprisingly, there were 11 students. It was so huge number of students, so where I can't take in my own car. So then I looked for the sponsors, and in fact that was my that project work for the students within 2 weeks. But then after 2 weeks, they have given me that project back towards me. I felt in that way. So during my entire term break, I went, so I have written a proposal, and I look around for the sponsors at Thembula. So I went around to different organizations office. So luckily then I got this sponsor for the students, for 11 students. So that was only 2 days, one day in Paro and one day in Tempo. So from there I started this project. So it became like a project.
Seems like this opportunity, which is the exposure trip, is very rare for the students. Is it so?
Yes, now that became the set criteria for the students, and this is mainly for the students to work hard, to motivate them, because usually what I felt, I forgot to mention in the before this question, as a parent, I think there are different types of the background of parents, because some students, they come from the humble background, and school is a place where we can give this platform. So I felt that, okay, now we can motivate students. So in 2011, I think maximum students, they are from very humble background, where their parents can't afford them. So maximum students, those who came here in Thimphu, they are from very humble background. And so the parents, the wealthy parents can provide anything. Either they can come to Thimphu and Paro, even they can take down to the outside countries for the tour and for this family tour, And I think for this, we can give to this platform where they can showcase their, the talent, as well as they can work hard. So we can give the equal opportunities to students, with a different background. So for this one, I think we have a set of criteria. Yes, so to fulfill this criteria, everybody should work hard. So they started working hard. I think the students, what usually they ask me during that the start of the academic session, so they say that, sir, is the edutainment tour like last year? So I usually encourage them. So because of that edutainment tour, they started working hard from the beginning of the session. So for this one, we set a criteria where everybody gets the equal opportunity. But if they don't get this 80% and above in the written examinations without including CA, again, I want to stress that continuous assessment. After including, if we include that CA, continuous assessment is not fair. But to have fair and the justice, I think we give this written examinations. So if they get 79.9, so we usually don't entertain. Even in this this times tour, I think there are few students, I think more than 5 students who got 79.9, but we didn't bring them with us. So we have set a criteria that 80% is the minimum for the students.
And now if sir could give us a picture of the Arekha Middle Secondary School in terms of facilities and infrastructure.
Thank you so much. That school, the Arekha Middle Secondary School, is usually built for, constructed for this to get this to enroll the students from Talo project, the employees so hydro project, the hydro plant and actually 85% of the students are from Talo project student, that employees students, and we have just 15% from the business community and the community of Arekha. And the construction is built by Do Green Power, so is mainly constructed for the students, those who are working for the Talo plant. So construction, I think we have a good building and good infrastructure, so we have games facilities, but I think some are under maintenance as well.
So it's very easy to conceive anything, to initiate anything, but the most difficult part is implementing it. Mainly the main reason behind is securing funds, but seems like you have been able to secure funds very easily. How have you been able to do it for 4 years without any fail?
Thank you so much. Actually, to get this funding, I think it's not a really easy task, because but I really got inspired by His Majesty's talk, that addresses. Now in the convocations, I heard that is a matter of that whether you do it or not. So it's not that we can't do it, but for this edutainment tour, with this I felt that I should do something else. So when I come for this the sponsors, I think it's really very taxing and very hectic to get these sponsors. But to me, I was supported by the Bhutan Tourism Corporation Limited and the CEO of the Bhutan Tourism. I think when I asked him, he told me not to mention his name. And the managing director, the CEO of Bhutan Tourism Corporation Limited, he was the first person who sponsored us from the very beginning of this tour. It was in 2014, and still he is the person who is supporting us. So he also felt the same way, that it is for the good purpose and for the benefit of the students, and for the students, I think we are doing for the good purpose, so I think we should support. So he told us that we can support you. So still he is supporting us, and near future I think the same will continue with the BTCL. So we are hoping, and again there are some other now firms, they are coming up, and they felt that okay, this is going to benefit for the students. I think they are working for the students. I think we have to support. So they felt in that way, and now there are different firms coming up and sponsoring us. Like this year we have Young Film, so where our students, they got grand lunch at Shivaling Hotel, and they were taken on the sightseeing tours for 2 days, and the transportation was given by Young Phil. Though our school is located to the Talo project, actually the Talo project should support us, but these are the sponsors who supported us entirely. And during when we come up, so now restaurants like Wanka, Dambu, they really wanted to support us every year, no matter the number of students, but they wanted to support us. So we are doing for the students. I think they are the future citizens of the country. And even the Mercury Bhutan, they have sponsored us for lunch, and now near future they wanted to support. So this is now hereafter I felt that we won't face such problem in getting sponsors, but I'm now worried about the number of students increasing yearly because of that edutainment tour.
Anything you would like to add?
I want to thank my entire team, those who are working with me. Actually, this edutainment tour is successful because of my colleagues, those who are in the school, because I alone cannot make this edutainment tour successful, because my friends are the person who is behind the curtain. I'm just the person who is in front, sorry. So they are the person who just give the ground reality, that work. So who gives the education, for this edutainment tour, and each and everyone. When I get this opportunity, I want to thank each one of my friends who are working with me, the teachers and the support staff, as well as the parents, so who has supported us for this edutainment tour. So the success of this edutainment tour is all because of my colleagues, and I'm just the person who just gives the idea. That is all. So I want to thank every one of them.
Tour of this kind is also an opportunity for students, especially from rural schools, to call on the dignitaries. This group of students are feeling very lucky that the Prime Minister and the Education Minister found time for them in their busy schedule, and their parents too have been looking forward to it.
I have a son in class 3. He's too small to go on a study tour and has never been before. He's very excited about the trip the school has organized and is really looking forward to it. He has promised to study even harder from now onwards. This initiative has encouraged other students as well to score high marks so that they can also get the chance to go on an exposure trip. The school has initiated it for the same purpose. They'll be taken to exciting places, visit monasteries in Thimphu and Paro, and have also heard that they will get a chance to meet the ministers as well.
Ever since Arekha school started taking its students on a tour who have performed very well in examinations, it has proven to be very helpful to our kids. My son, studying in class 3, after hearing about the opportunity, has become very hardworking. After returning from school in the evening, he tells us he will only study and not to make him do any household work. We no more have to tell him to study. He does his homework regularly and stays awake all night long. He wouldn't even go to bed. When we tell him to study when exam approaches, he wouldn't listen, saying there won't be enough time. He has become very responsible now.
And the trip will not be complete without visiting the Bhutan Broadcasting Service Corporation. Like any visitor, this group of students have been anxiously waiting to see how news and programs reach them. And today, they are right here to see how things are done with their own eyes. Well rewarded for the hard work, they return to the school with the hope to win the trip again.